The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe. If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers.
He did exactly what he said he was going to do. Thanos wiped out 50% of all living creatures.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
You want to know what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
Hello, I'm Carol Rosin, and I'm in Arizona right now at the 20th anniversary of the Disclosure Project, where I was a witness in Washington, D.C. in May 2001. At that event, I spoke for Wernher von Braun. I gave his warning to the world that there was going to be a faked alien invasion. He called it the last card that would be played in the entire war game, which has scenarios of formulas for wars, enemies, sanctions, fighting, killing, leapfrogging the technology. Von Braun, the father of rocketry, when I became the first woman executive in that aerospace industry, Von Braun taught me and gave me his deathbed assignment to prevent the placement of weapons in outer space. In the last few decades, since 1974, when I met Wernher von Braun, I have been on a huge journey that led me to this meeting in Arizona that's being conducted by Dr. Stephen Greer. We're in a state of emergency. This is why I came here to meet the people who were dealing with this emergency, who are trying to get the truth out about the extraterrestrial, other dimensional beings, the reality of the truth of what most people are not aware of in our earthbound scenarios. This meeting has been one of the pivotal moments in my life, and it is the pivotal moment in history, when you will be able to see, after you listen to some of the speakers here, that we have one chance in history to prevent the placement of weapons in outer space so that we can open up space so that our neighbors can come in safely, so that a new awareness and a raising of consciousness, a new group of technologies can be applied now to solving the problems on the planet instead of to being used primarily for competition in the form of war games. That this is the pivotal moment in history when we can literally pivot from peace to space. Not just peace away from war, but peace in space that will bring it to Earth and maintain the peace and cooperative ventures in outer space. So I came here to give a reminder about that warning of Wernher von Braun, that the last card is being played right now. You're seeing it in the media. You're seeing faked pictures. You can't tell whether a UFO is a real one or not. They're not even UFOs, they're identified. Dr. Greer is explaining at this event that there are so many that are man-made. It's the old game of having to have the next enemy, so that you have an enemy that you can keep building the war game against, keep that economy going, and dominate and control the entire space around all of us. And I know some of you, if you're aware of it, are noticing that we're being controlled right on this planet in so many different ways. Wernher von Braun wanted to open that up. He worked under Hitler. He actually learned that from experience we can use the technology for the good or for war. And we will never, ever be safe if we escalate the arms race into that place above all of our heads.
Alive and otherwise, that what we needed was a pseudo-armor around the world. Remember that? Whether it impacted our precious freedoms or not. That's what we needed.
From coming and encourage many of the aliens Joe Biden has unlawfully let into our country to go back to their home countries. They must go back. I interviewed jet pilots that say they saw something.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh.
These 3 videos, released by the Department of Defense,
A whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
The moment you mention UFO, immediately what comes to mind are little green men, tinfoil hats. It's gravity.
in 2020, the Pentagon declassified 3 videos. The Tic Tac video and 2 others filmed on the East Coast in January of 2015. Other countries have made similar public disclosures. Also in 2004, the Mexican Air Force confirmed this video was shot by one of their pilots near the coast of Baja California.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 en la pantalla.
In 2014, the helicopter from the Chilean Navy locked onto an unidentified object emitting what appeared to be some sort of gas or vapor. Both governments have said they investigated but couldn't determine what the objects were. To those like science writer Sarah Scholes, clipped black and white videos always leave a lot to the imagination.
I believe his name, but I interviewed jet pilots that were solid people. Perfect. I mean, great pilots, great everything. And they said, we saw things, sir, that were very strange. Like a round ball, but it wasn't a comet or a meteor. It was something. And it was going 4 times faster than an F-22, which is a very fast plane, you know.